Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar on teacher activity groups, otherwise known as tags. And this is a pleasure, actually, for all of us who are here. Why? Because we are all involved in this project, and we want to present it to you. Maybe you will feel some inspiration to start your own tag after you find out what that means. And by we, I mean Teodora, Naiba, and me. As usual, I have to tell you that you shouldn't be intimidated by her name. She's heavenly to work with. And we actually work together in a lot of projects. We are both teacher educators. We often work with the British Council and we moderate online courses. But it wouldn't be fun to have just the two of us here. We have three exceptional ladies who actually are a vibrant part of this project. Lia Suchu, Alice Bogan, and Nicolina Gaina. You will hear us call Nicolina Nina, so please know that this is her. And together we will tell you why we love this project and why we think you could benefit from a tag too.
Thank you, Cristiana. And this is what we hope we are going to do today. We are trying to define tags and look a bit into the benefits of having a tag. You will also find out more about the tags in Romania, but not only. You will meet these three lovely tag facilitators who will share their experience with tags. And we'll also talk a bit about face-to-face tags versus virtual tags. And in the end, we will share with you a suggested structure of a tag, something that works for our tags and something that you can borrow if you decide to start a new tag.
Great, so let's start with a very simple definition. What is a teacher activity group, a tag? Well, I usually like to say that it's a peer-led or teacher-driven support group, which teachers can join as part of their professional development. So it's something that is not done for us as teachers. It's something that we initiate and we create for our own benefit. That's why it's teacher-driven and peer-led. Otherwise, we can say, Theo,
yes, that it's simply a group of teachers that meet regularly, usually monthly. Why? To provide mutual support and share learning.
So basically, the ladies will tell you more about their groups. You will see that they are not all from the same town or city. They actually cover an area, and teachers come from all around that location so that they get to know each other, they work together, and consequently they become familiar with each other and with their teaching context, which may be quite specific, which also leads to some specific challenges.
So our project, the project that we are very fond of, not only the people here joining this session, but also teachers in each tag. It's English for the Community. It's a project in partnership with British Council and the Romanian American Foundation. It aimed at providing professional development for up to 200 teachers, but it's still growing. And it was supposed to end after 3 years, but again, it's still going on and growing stronger as well. The main goal was to create a new generation of professionals in rural areas through quality education. But I would say that not only in rural areas, but also in small parts of in small towns. And Cristiana will tell you more about this.
Exactly. So if you look at the 9 counties and the 9 towns that host the tag, you can notice that actually all these tags are near natural parks, which means that they have a huge potential for ecotourism. So we need people, learners who can continue and have a career in tourism when they leave school. So all the teachers involved work together to see how they can teach English in a very practical way, and something that can lead to fluent learners when they leave school. The 9 counties, the 9 centers actually have two facilitators. So we have 18 facilitators, and unfortunately we couldn't invite all, but we have 3 of them here, and they will tell you more about their tags in a few minutes.
Yes, thank
For
you.
instance, right now, Nina, you can tell us about
Yes, so
where you are from.
Yes, we all this time we have the support of our English inspector, Laura Pitario, and she helped us a lot these 2 years in order to promote our project in Sibiu.
Okay. And this is actually an article that was published in the local
in
press.
Different local newspapers, yes.
Okay, great. And Leah, I think we also had a nice thing going on in Sigishwara. I think.
You mean the town crier?
Yes.
Who announces our presence whenever he is available.
Exactly, in several languages, right? So he goes around the town and drums, and then he cries that we have a meeting or something like this. So this is, I think, something unique in the world to have an activity, a teacher's activity, quite unique.
Okay, so here are some of the activities that teachers had during their tags, and what they are doing there is that they discuss teaching issues and mainly challenges, but also try to find together solutions to these challenges. Cristiana mentioned that their tags are usually groups where teachers come from the same environment, the same, so they have the same challenges, the same opportunities. So it's easier for them, and this is an excellent opportunity to find solutions to their problems or their challenges, I would say. Together, they find a lot of strategies that work well in the classroom, answers to questions about teaching and learning the language. Also a great opportunity to practice language, why not?
It's true. Okay, so another activity, which is probably more specific to the tag, is that they engage with different sources of new ideas through reading, watching videos, and using other online resources. And we have seen wonderful examples of good practice in all the meetings that we have attended and observed.
And just to mention that all these pictures, lovely pictures, are taken from our tags, from the tags all over Romania. Another thing that teachers do in these tags, they share ideas and keep each other up to date on new developments about locally and international world of English language teaching. And another very interesting thing is that they also initiate new projects. And Nina, can you tell us something about your project?
Yes, so in our tag we collaborate together, and we have this project, Eco English, which is for our students, all the students from Sibiu, and the idea is to promote ecotourism. And students have different tasks to promote their local areas in order to improve their English skills and show us different places which are worth to visit.
And so I think, you know, it's such a nice idea, Nina, that maybe you can consider making it a national activity, since many learners might enjoy to present to their area. So who knows, maybe this will grow.
Yes, we had discussion with the others facilitators from the other tag, and we are going to do this project maybe in all the country.
Excellent.
No,
that would be
and
good news.
we have also some courses, optional courses, which were related to ecotourism too, in our tag.
Good.
That's great. Thank you, Nina. Okay, so what else do these teachers do during tags is they make plans to use new activities and techniques they share. and they put them into practice. They go and share them and try them in their own classrooms. And then when they come back to the next tag, they report their successes and challenges to the group, and they share and they try to and experiment again. Mm-hmm. So basically they reflect effectively and help each other to reflect on teaching and learning. And as Cristiana and I are very fond of collaborative work, you can do a lot of peer reflection during these tags, and you feel that you belong to a community, and you feel that you find your place there, and together you can find a lot about not only about others and what others do, but also about yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have some questions for our dear facilitators here. Can you tell us which were the most effective activities in your tags?
I'm sure that there are some moments among the many wonderful memories and moments, but there must be some that stayed with you. So would you please share some of these moments with us?
Okay, I break the ice because I'm
please,
sure everybody has something to say about this. In my experience, my name is Lia Suchu, and I am half of the facilitator team in the area of Sighișoara, together with my colleague Ilike. From my experience, I think the most effective part of the whole tag meetings that we had was the part that refers to sharing. Theo was mentioning just before that we find solutions, learn new teaching strategies, demonstrate activities, bring new things that appear in the area of foreign language teaching during our meetings, and then the participants go back to their classes and actually experiment with them. And when we meet next, they share what they've done. And I love that part the most. And I think that is probably the most effective in the whole project, because they share their successes, but they also share their failures, which makes it easier for the others to try them without the failures, probably.
I cannot forget when I observed your tag last autumn, and I came to Sighișoara. You were having a tag meeting on a video project, and yes, you and some other teachers presented some ideas. Everybody absolutely loved your attempts to work with the video recordings of the students, to have students create materials. And I stayed on for a couple more days in the town. And the next day, walking around, I actually saw some learners, some students, making videos. And I immediately knew there must be a follow-up activity of the tag, because some of the teachers who were there were inspired by the sharing of the experiences of these teachers. And they also created some video projects. So it was lovely to see it in action, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the whole point of our meetings. Find new solutions to apply them and to share with the other teachers. So this is my favorite part.
And sometimes have a shoulder to cry on.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, because
I absolutely agree.
Because by telling our problems, sometimes we find ourselves solutions, you know, but just we simply have this need to share. And you know, when you express, when you articulate, you share your problem, suddenly a solution comes up. So that's another. Yeah, thank you, Leah. Thank you so much. Alice?
Hello, my name is Alice, and together with Bianca, we were the facilitators for Târgu Neamț, and the teachers who came not only from the town, but also from the villages around the town. And this was great because we were quite many. I personally liked very much the warmers suggested by the British Council, and I was responsible for introducing them to my colleagues. And I was really pleased to see that many of them were really useful, and they tried them in during their English classes with their students. And as Lias was telling us about the sharing part, when they came back, they shared with us their experience. And in fact, these warming up activities were quite useful and attractive for the students.
Mm-hmm.
And I really agree with Leah that sharing is, of course, one of the most effective activities in our talks.
That's great.
Thank you, Alice. And it's good that you can try things, yes, with your, you try them with the teachers in the tag, and then you go to...
Yes, and it was great because everybody was pleased to be part of this warming up activity. And here is a picture with some of my colleagues, and we were having a warming up activity, and as you can see, they were having quite a lot of fun. Yes.
And I do remember the first tags and the first meetings with teachers in Târgu Neamț, and they slowly and gradually opened up, and they were, right, Alice? And they started sharing more and more, and they really wanted to talk. In the beginning, it was not, it's a process. It's something that you learn actually to share and to talk to your peers.
And you also need to feel comfortable with the people.
Exactly.
So you need to get to know them, to feel that you can trust them, to see that actually a tag is a support system. So you can open up and people will support you. They will not judge you, because we've all been there. We've all tried things, and sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they work very well. But it's good to talk to somebody who understands what you're saying. If you talk to somebody else who's an electrician or an engineer, they might not understand what you mean by, oh my God, I had a lovely activity with my 6th graders. They will not understand your enthusiasm.
Yes.
Nina?
The warm-up activities were very popular in our tag too. So we had a lot of fun practicing these warm-up activities, and I think that each of our participants tried or have applied at least one of the warm-up activities. Another thing that it was really important for us, it was the context, a safe context for us to discuss our challenges and to improve our speaking English skills, because we don't have all the time the context to speak English at a certain academic level, let's say. And of course, the share stage, it was my favorite, and I always was facilitating the share stage, where we all shared ideas or tips or strategies that work well in our classes, and it was a great chance to learn from each other.
Thank you so much, Nina. So
I had a feeling that I interrupted Leah earlier. I think she wanted to say something.
I just wanted to say that was a very good point. So if anybody asks me, what's the greatest point of having the tags? Besides everything we have been discussing, and we are going to discuss it, which are all true, absolutely. For me, the best outcome, benefit, is that we managed to create a very tightly knit community of almost 90% of the English teachers in Sighișoara and the area, who feel quite comfortable together. And when I say comfortable, we knew each other, of course, but we were not friends, or not all of us. But now it's a very tightly knit community who feels comfortable to share everything, all the challenges they have to cope with, without being afraid of being judged by others, by teachers that they consider more experienced, or by teachers that they consider better than them. And we all have our little insecurities.
Sure.
And very often we don't feel comfortable enough to share them with our peers. So, but now we are a community of close friends who feel absolutely comfortable to share any challenges, anything they cannot cope with, anything, all the failures they have in teaching. We all have failures in our teaching. Our classes are not all perfect. And I think maybe that's the greatest gain the tax. That's what so the point you made, Cristiana, was very important. So that's what I wanted to.
You have that feeling that you are not alone.
Exactly.
You are part in a
belong.
community. We have the same struggles and challenges, and it's great.
And that can be particularly important when we talk about teachers working in rural areas. Maybe they are the only teacher in school teaching languages, foreign languages or English, and they can't really share with somebody else.
Yes.
Or not necessarily immediately. So it's good for them to feel that they belong to a community of like-minded people, of professionals and of friends.
Right. Exactly.
And in fact, if you allow me, I would
Please.
say that the project couldn't have had a better name than this one, English for the Community, because we all had this feeling of being part of a community, having all the support we needed, interesting materials, and topics which suited our needs, I would say.
Right.
As you said, Theo, it's a community of practice, and it was a very important aspect that we had the chance to practice all the strategy and techniques in our tag, and it was great because we could feel what a student feels when we apply these strategies in classroom. So
sometimes we forget to put ourselves in the shoes of a student, so it's good from time to time to do some micro teaching and experience what learners feel when we teach.
So I think you have already answered my question with why tags. So I would just put it into different words, although your reasons are actually closer to my heart and to what this community means. So it's actually a supporting network. This is what you have creating, supporting networks. And last but not least, I would say it's an opportunity for continuous professional development, which is also important. And it was great that you also underlined the fact that it was a safe environmental, non-judgmental environment. So this professional development is something that teachers want, is something that they want to happen. It's not something that is imposed. So they are building this together.
Because these are communities of volunteers, of people who want to be there. They are not pushed by anybody into doing something. They are just there because they like it. And I like the fact that while we were talking now, two terms appeared. So professionals and friends. And I think this is nice because when we talk about CPD, I always like to insist that this should stand for continuous professional and personal development. If professional development is not supported by some changes at the personal level, if you don't feel that you are also a better person, just like you are a better teacher, it won't last. So the fact that we become friends and that we support each other informally as well is a great benefit. It's not just done in a very rigorous way with only very strictly professional chats. We can also share personal issues and we can relate and we can talk to our friends.
I will come back to why I consider that tags are easy to set up. I will come back to this later. Okay, so you've already mentioned a lot of the benefits of tags. As I said, you've read my mind. And is there something else you would like to add?
I think that all teachers became more confident in their teaching, at least in our tag. So because they have the chance to interact, and it was like a club, but with a list of aims and with a framework and different
structure.
Yes, and the atmosphere was great. A lot of fun and comfortable for each participant.
Now that you mentioned club, I'm sure it will attract more young teachers.
It's learning. It's learning in an informal environment, which is important too. Very important in my
like with games with our learners, learning without noticing. Actually,
not like a training session, a formal training session. So it's more informal and people feel more comfortable.
Yes, and I would point out the fact that these meetings were quite interactive, and in comparison to other courses, we we have attended, everyone had the chance to have their contribution to the activities. So we had debates, we worked together, we shared ideas and opinions, and I think that another good point of this project was the fact that the participants, the teachers who attended these meetings were not only those who were at the beginning of their career. We, in our tag, for example, we also had experienced teachers who were really fond of the project and who really wanted to come again and share from their experience and have a laugh with us, and also very interesting share interesting opinions and from what they know. So not only the young ones had a lot to learn from the others, but also the experienced had something to learn, because we never stop learning, you know.
Exactly.
So there is always someone who might have a better idea than yours. So from this point of view, you have the chance to steal or borrow, if you want to say so, some of their ideas and approach it and use it in your English classes as well.
And the young ones, yes.
Leah had something really unique in the country, as she and Cristiana already told us. Nicolina had her article to promote the project. We also had men in our tag.
So, great. Male teachers.
So, yes, it was great because
we have one man.
We had more than one. so we are happy to have them and to give them the opportunity to share their point of view as well.
I really like the idea of we never stop learning. And one of the most vivid memories, not only from the tag, but generally, I don't know why I remember that moment so well, is that when we were starting, in one of the first sessions when I was there, we actually went out as a group in order to celebrate one of the teachers' gradulante, so the highest level, right, in teaching. And a teacher came to Leah and they said, Leah, you are so experienced. What are you doing there? She was not with us. It was a teacher who didn't come to the training. I said, you are so experienced and you know so much. Why are you there? And Leah said, well, there's always something to learn. Do you know what ICQs are? And then that teacher was like, no. I said, well, come and join us. You will find out.
And they did.
Yes.
And another thing that Alice mentioned the difference between training and tags. This is not training. This is teachers on the same level, the same.
There's no hierarchy.
Yes,
no hierarchy whatsoever.
So just sharing and learning from each other.
Although it achieves all the purposes of a regular training session.
More than that.
Yes, but probably in a more active way, I would say.
And I think that because the facilitators are not leaders, they are not all the knowledge, so they are not right answer, so they are just guiding. The session and the discussion and all the activities, and just is the most important thing about tags. And another one, I think, is the chance to reflect on our teaching. So we had the chance to reflect on our teaching strategies and to see how can we improve some of them.
And sometimes it's good to have another opinion from the outside. No matter how creative we are, no matter how original thinking we have, we get stuck in a rut. So when we talk about what we do and we hear somebody suggesting something, that might be quite refreshing. And I think, Leah, in your tag, you have nice examples of learning from teachers of other subject matters, not just English.
Yes, which has been extremely interesting and beneficial. I never thought that we would attract any other teachers except for the English teachers. Actually, to tell you the truth, and Cristiana knows that, I was pretty doubtful at the beginning that we would attract even the English teachers because, you know, for all the reasons we all know, right? Teachers don't really enjoy training sessions, and that's how they perceived it at first, before the first meeting. But we had the surprise of being joined by physics and chemistry teacher who speaks very good English, actually. Maybe not so good at the beginning, but now she's absolutely fluent, and who was able to share her activities in her classes based on what we were talking in our meetings, and that which somebody else might have considered that are applicable only to language teaching classes. And she proved that that's not the case. And she also was able to teach us a lot of new things, which she has been using in her chemistry and physics classes, and which were applicable in the English classes. So it has been a perfect cooperation. And she's probably one of the most active teachers.
Members. And you also have teachers of Romanian and French, right? You also have other teachers,
Romanian,
I think.
French and German. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we also had a teacher of Romanian and a French teacher who came regularly to our meetings, and they were really interested in coming again, and they found all the activities very engaging and attractive to their classes as well.
Brilliant. This is great. This is a community of teachers. We didn't say community of English teachers, we said community of teachers. So actually, and Leah is right. Every time after each tag, she kept telling me, they've come. So she was really genuinely surprised. But actually, when people realize that there is something good for them, something that might improve their teaching, their lives, they actually want to come because they feel good.
Yes.
So yeah, quite a lot of examples of good practice there, right?
Exactly. So we already have. If you were to think about a short tip for other facilitators or teachers who would like to join a tag, what would you tell them?
Or to start one? Maybe there are teachers who are not in the areas where we have the tags, but they would like to start their own tags. Any tips from your experience? Because now you have a 3-year experience.
I think that it's very important to have a structure of the session. It's very important, a framework, and to work with that, with all the participants. I think that this helps a lot in this kind of training session. So this is a tip that
that's
I
great.
I agree with Lina. These are informal meetings, very educational. I would probably call them trainings too, because that's what people do there. They get trained, but informal within a very structured framework. I think that's important, and the facilitator needs to be able to provide that framework. I think.
And with
what I would advise them, based on what we had been discussing before, is trust that teachers will come. If you offer them good value, they will come. Because I think most teachers would say, "No, it won't happen in my area," but it will.
Be confident.
Be confident and trust your instincts, your abilities, and as Leah said, trust that that other teachers will join these meetings. And a good point would be to have another person to help you, another local facilitator, as we had the chance to have another person to help us, and it was great. And as Teodora and Cristiana were telling you about at the beginning, and they were mentioning the collaborative work, so this works well, very well. So it would be a good idea to have another person there to support you whenever you need some support.
Yeah, I can totally understand you, Alice, because I have Cristiana always to support me and to help me. So I can totally understand you.
It's mutual. We always push each other further. Okay, Teo, will you briefly tell us about this movement that took place in our tags?
So maybe, at some point we had to move online. And I think we are still there for the time being. Are there any changes that you have noticed in your tag when it moved online?
Oh yes, it was a very interesting time actually. Moving online was probably the process of transitioning to meeting, learning, teaching online was probably the most difficult part. I think everybody noticed that at first there was a general reluctance towards the idea of online meeting, learning, teaching. And I think it was mostly because most teachers had never done it before and were pretty wary about their ability to cope with the technology. So the first two considerations were adjusting to the environment as a whole and taking the time to learn the various tools. And I think that took the first part of the online process. But as the technical skills improved, it soon became apparent that both traditional and online environments offer unique benefits and opportunities and are many times similar. A second stage, I think, in the online adjustment was realizing the infinite, not the infinite, but the huge number of tools available in online environment. You know, all the teachers are comfortable using a blackboard or a whiteboard or, you know, presenting slides over a projector. But they soon realized that the online setting offers multitude of digital tools which are available both to teachers and students. And I could mention chat boxes, notes, file sharing, link sharing. Once they realized how handy these come in, they really started enjoying it. I think they also enjoyed the fact that while on a traditional environment, we don't have the possibility of carrying on sidebar conversations while somebody else is speaking in the group. They like that. They like the fact that the participants can pose questions, share resources, respond to others' comments in a non-verbal way. Overall, I think it was an extremely beneficial process of adjusting to our new normal. Our new normal, which goes way beyond the changes in our professional development and teaching strategy imposed by the pandemic. It actually, I think, meets the needs of online learning becoming more and more prevalent across the educational spectrum. I think we needed this. We needed to get accustomed and become comfortable with it.
In a way, it's a similar process to what you were telling us about the face-to-face, that first people were a bit reluctant, then they realized that now they can actually talk to somebody and try things with them and then go to the class. It's the same thing. You try the online tools with the other colleagues and then you felt more comfortable in the virtual classroom, which must be comforting, you know, when so many people struggle. It's good to have some friends to try things out with.
Yes, yeah.
So basically, if you join a tag, you'll get a cake. That's my conclusion. So it's a sweet transition. It's a sweet community, I would say.
We celebrated our first year of tag. We were so proud.
The only problem with the online tags is that you cannot really share the cake. That's the only problem I can see with virtual tags.
Yep.
Yes, and while Teo presented these things on the slide, I just wanted to add something. The fact that we are very, very proud of our tags in Romania for two reasons. One is that we can see the effects and the impact they have on the teachers and the teaching. And the second one is that they did such a brilliant job that they inspire teachers in other countries. And now Theo and I, for instance, work together with other people from the British Council with more than 8,000 teachers in wider Europe, different countries, 7 different countries, and they have their virtual tags. So although they can't have cake, at least they can work together. And it all started from the success of our tags in Romania. So well done, everybody who was involved in the tags.
So it's true that you can eat cake and have more opportunities to socialize and bond with others while you are in face-to-face tag. And of course, one other thing is that you can have good practice for your face-to-face classes. But to be honest, if you speak about the online, it's also good online tag. It's also good practice to for online classes. So they are both beneficial in this respect.
I agree. The online tags helped us a lot to adapt to online teaching too. So it was a great chance for us to practice all the things there.
And exactly, and you save some time and money in the end, yes, because you don't have to travel. Right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Leah has already mentioned all these better accessibility to online resources, so the wide range over there. And you can also network with other tags online. It's easier because you don't have to travel. Of course, you don't travel, so you don't see the beauties around these wonderful tags, but it's a good thing that it's at hand, and you can also experiment, as you said, with tools and activities for online classes.
Excellent. So if you think about setting up a tag, it's quite simple, and I think by now the process has become quite obvious from what the lady shared with us. You need a group of enthusiastic teachers, people who you feel you could work with. It would be nice to have at least 2 facilitators who can support each other and the community. But first of all, you need to identify 2 people who are willing to start, maybe you yourselves. Then you need some sort of a program together. At first, you can set up a schedule, you can suggest some topics, but as I said, it's teacher driven. So in time, the teachers can suggest the topics they want to discuss in the tags. You need some sort of communication system. First of all, now online, we got used to the online world, and it's quite easy to set up a WhatsApp group or to have a closed group on any social media. So just find a way in which you can communicate and you can announce your meetings. And from the pictures throughout the presentation today, you could see that our facilitators are extremely creative, and they make wonderful posters. When they have many of them have the support of the inspectorate. The county inspector actually posts the poster on the inspectorate page, so it's nice to spread the word. And of course you need a venue, but these days you just need a computer or a good phone and some internet connection that can be stable enough.
And if the work of facilitator sounds like a lot, and you can think about that in time. You can the teachers should take the lead, and they should present, and they should share, they should be the facilitators.
We had in our tag, yes, participants who were facilitating some stages from session.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, and again, from what we said, we won't insist very much. You understood from what the lady said that there are stages, there is a structure, there's a framework within which they can actually play freely, but they do try to follow some stages also because it's good to create a certain routine, a certain, that feeling of comfort also comes from a sense of familiarity, but of course, each time we change something in the stages, but they do start with a meeting. Normally starts with the aims. Everybody understands why they are there and what they want to achieve. They mentioned the great warmers they have shared and how much fun they had trying them. Then in the share stage, they just share what they have done since the last meeting, what they have tried and implemented. Then there's the debate, the think and discuss, when they actually discuss and introduce the new topic that is the topic for today's session. And then Theo?
And then, of course, there can be a part where you can read some more about it, or you can watch a video about it, so you can go a bit deeper into that issue that you want to focus on. And of course, you think about how you would implement everything that you've learned into the classroom, how you would experiment with it, and you design an activity or something that would be you would try, and then next time, so that next time when you come back, you can share and you can start this cycle of it sounds like the reflection cycle. And you can try again and improve, and try again and improve, and so on. And of course, if there is time, you can also go deeper, as I said, and find out more from an online course, from a MOOC, from a site, and from all the resources that usually teachers share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to conclude, what is a tag? I think Nina mentioned at the beginning, it's a community of practice. 3 words, very important words, that it's a community. This is what you all focused on, why you have this feeling of belonging to a community, which is really important because relationships are built there through discussions and activities and learning and sharing. It covers an area, you know, some key interests that teachers might find useful. And it's a lot of practice there because, as you all said, it helps the teachers to get some confidence and to practice things and before they go to the classrooms. And, you know, stories are being told and developed.
History is being made.
Exactly.
Great. So thank you very much. We look forward to answering your questions if there's anything in particular you would like to find out. But we also want to thank all the teachers who participate in the tags, all the facilitators who are absolutely wonderful, all the people in the British Council and the Romanian American Foundation who supported us and encouraged us. And I think they were also surprised by the success of this project. So let's make it even bigger and more successful from now on. Thank you very much.
Text will go on.
Text will go on. That's a good motto.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.